A little bit late today because I completely forgot about the update, the big update. Bunch of announcements. Looks like Ryziel's coming out. New coin for Pot of Greed. New deck slots. New season, of course. Oh, not through the trial. Back to ranked. So now we've demoted again, which means we're going to have to begin the climb again. I was feeling a bit under the weather last week. Still am, so take that as you will. If I remember, the only thing we changed was we added Runic Destruction. Right, because I believe everything else was like kind of mediocre. Like, the Tricky could come into a list later on if we're building some kind of synchro pile. Or if we pull like good rank 5s, but I don't think either of those things is happening anytime soon. Oh yeah, Hop-Eared Squadron was a pull as well. Like, I like how this combos with Guiltia. With Guiltia, it lets us make this in our opponent's turn. Oh no, the non-tuner has to be wind. Never mind. But I feel like Squadron doesn't really do what we need it to. So I think we'll leave this list as is. 41 cards is definitely optimal. And we take it to ranked and we see what we can do. And I suspect this sort of pattern of floating around silver and gold is probably going to be a consistent pattern for the entire lifespan of the series, at least until we start winning a bit more consistently. Because the more consistently we win, the more games I'll be comfortable with playing in a session. Keeper of Dragon Magic. It's branded? Huh. Okay. Currently, if we get lucky with head judging, we're still fine. I think. This is a tricky one. I'm worried about normal summon Guiltia because if they chain the Mirror Jade, they're just going to discover by accident how to counter Guiltia. So I think we go Adhara. set the Drago. We activate Summoning Curse. We set Head Judging, and then we hope that that gets us there. It would seem that our opponent does know how to read, which I really don't like. Not a fan of my opponent reading. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. We're not even going to use the Mirror Jade effect. Well, we have two options. We can use our Dragoonity and try to go into a Synchro 7. Or we can go Guiltia and try to banish. The Synchro does represent disruption. Unfortunately, that would put Albion in Grave. So I think we go Guiltia. I mean, he's gonna put a guy in Grave anyway with Mirror Jade, but there's not much I can do about that. The other issue, of course, is it banishes a card. In either case, we need to win the 50-50 here. Sending Lubellion is not the correct shout. 50-50. 50-50. 50-50, come on. Well. Not the worst hand I've ever seen, but... Oh, they made me go first? Okay, then it's pretty bad. Discard this card and one wind, add a dragon from your deck to your hand. Ooh, are we gonna combo? Although that would be 6. Do I have a dragon to reveal for Drago? I do not. Well, we grab this anyway, because a Synchro 6 is better than nothing. Which makes us able to reach Stardust Charge or Vajrayana. Well, I will just set Dimensional Barrier. And I think I'll pass it there. I guess Debris Dragon would have been very good there. This is fine. Normal Alistair, no effect, means they have Invocation in their hand and that they're playing a finite number of them. Maybe they have 3 Invocation in hand. Dimensional Barrier, we call Fusion, and that means that their Alistair is stranded in the graveyard. Back to the front. It's not bad. So I think the line here is this. Bring back Synchro 6, bring back Tempest. Well, let's give it a shot. Do I have a Synchro 10? I don't, right? I do not. Discarding Celestial. Okay. Good to know that DPE is unlikely to be in my future. Oh, I can't Tempest because I can't banish from field for Tempest. Well, Devourer it is. Stardust Spark is unlikely to come up. I'm more likely to make the Crimson Blader if I ever go into a rank 8. Or at least in this duel. Well, let's hope they don't have another copy of Invocation. Invocation would be pretty bad for me here. Figures. Here comes Macabre. I mean, the Dream Devourer crashes with Macabre. Bullblader also checks the Macabre. Maybe we'll be fine. Oh wait, they can do their Invocation Alistair thing now. This is not looking very promising for me. Okay. Why do these Dragoondies only trigger on normal summon? I think we bring back the Tempest. Oh no, then it goes back to hand. I think we bring back the Dream Devourer so that we can attack with it and then bring it back after. Or do we bring back the Tuner? Tuner would be Synchro 7, but we need a Wind non-tuner. Let's bring back the Dream Devourer, I think. That's a pretty good one, but I don't have the free tributes right now, do I? I know about Invocation in hand. Can I kill them here? One card in hand is Invocation. If the other isn't a monster, then Bullblader trades for the Mechaba. Then that's 15, 37, 61. Well, if the card in hand is not a monster, then this does it. Okay, the card in hand is a monster. Okay, if the card in hand is a monster, we should scout for Alistair specifically. They got a response window there, which means it has to be a monster or it's a hand trap. And most hand traps are monsters, so we scout for Alistair in hand. It is not Alistair. Okay, which means that it's some other monster. Unfortunately, this does mean they get to live, but we get to keep Bullblader, which I think is worthwhile, seeing as though the other line involves them Mechaba negating and banishing Bullblader, and then I have to crash anyway. No reason to do anything with the Link monsters. I could have brought back the Dream Devourer, I suppose. Probably should have, so that they can't make Kaliga. I don't think I'm worried about Kaliga. Meltdown, add another Invoker. This is not good. But they have 800 life points, which means they do have to be careful. Okay, that's known. Another Mechaba or Ogoides? Okay, Okay. Yugioh these nuts. They get to pop a special summoned monster. Oh. Any monster. Oh, if it's special summoned. And they know what Bullblader does, apparently. That's not very good for me. What? An invocation? How did that get there? Lava Golem into Purgatrio. Okay. That outs my board. Not happy about that. Okay, so this thing can destroy one monster I control once when I special summon. Okay, so what I need now is an out for that. I think Yugioh would be great. Sloth does not do it. Well, let's... Oh, Sloth is a wind. Oh no, it's a dragon. So I can Tempest, and I can Nemalaria, one of which will get popped. The Nemalaria is less committal because it doesn't give up the cards in my hand. That's not coming up. That's unlikely to come up. I'm about to get Alistair'd for my fucking life. Yeah, actually, the card in hand is known to be Alistair, isn't it? Yeah, the card in hand is known to be Alistair, so I'm just dead. Let's walk into it like an idiot, I guess. Pretty sure Yugioh would have gotten us through there. If nothing else, it would have kept us in the game. Right, because Yugioh trades for the Ogoides. Hard to say. Right, Yugioh get rid of the Purgatrio, and then we can at least force them to discard the Alistair, and then we're in top deck mode, but would have been nice. I always draw this guy before I draw any of the level 3 or lower Dragoonides in the grave. Right, like I've got 2 targets for him, but Battling Boxers. They got new support, didn't they? I think. Or am I just an idiot? Oh, it's Ryziel. They're just using it as a rank 4 engine. Fair enough. Oh for 4 on coin flips, by the way. Hand is actually kind of nice if I had won that flip, though. Galaxy Eyes. Am I willing to sit through this? I don't think so, because none of these do anything into an established board. The Bloss held by Destiny technically does, but the Galaxy Eyes archetypes specifically negate effects during the battle phase, so that's not happening. Okay, we've won a coin flip. That's a good start. Now if we can just get the same hand we got last time, that would be nice. It's not the same hand, but it's pretty close. 60 card list, it's probably branded, in which case Dimensional Barrier looks kind of good. Okay, they didn't just Windmill Slam Harpies, so that's a promising start. Oh. Okay, well, so it is branded. And they're spending a lot of time thinking about their very first play, just to do the textbook line. So maybe we're in for an easy win. Forbidden Droplets Pitch Maxi. Okay. Well, This is about as favorable a window as I'm ever going to get to use this, so Blast held by Destiny. Highest value Sakuretsu armor ever. Not sure why they didn't do that in damage step, but I guess skill issue. I have a seething hatred for this card. Because I don't have a convincing out for cards like Druswam. He's gonna grab Lubellion here, maybe Fallen of Albaz. Fallen of Albaz, okay. I don't know if Fallen of Albaz can out... I was gonna say can't out Bullblader, but I don't think he needs to out Bullblader. Okay, that's a good card. Let me just read him again. Target 1, face up monster opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck. So, known Fallen of Albaz in hand, this guy can't negate the Fallen of Albaz, which means if I go for that line now, I'm just immediately playing into Fallen of Albaz, get contact fuse, because I don't actually have an answer for that that doesn't waste my dimensional barrier. So I think we summon this guy, we crash so that we don't have a high level dark monster on the field for the Albaz to fuse with. Yeah, I think that's the line. So get rid of him. Him. And then here we crash so that he doesn't have a target to fuse with his Albaz. And then we attack direct with Bullblader. And we throw it back. Right, so the Fallen of Albaz shouldn't really be able to make anything with this. Which means we know one of the 3 cards in hand doesn't do anything. There's Fallen of Albaz. This Bullblader has done a lot of heavy lifting. It's time for it to do just a little bit more. Oh. Is our opponent reading? Or have they just disconnected? I'll take it. Free win? I'll take it. Don't think that really counts as a proper win against Branded, so I'm not going to update the best win. But that is full build Branded. Not much to say really, maybe 3 Sarnir is a little overkill. Like we're not playing Druid Swarm or anything, just 3 Sarnir. Other than that, ratios are maybe a little bit weird, but yeah, that's just full build Branded. Two coin flips in a row, now that's unheard of. Ouch. You know, I did know that this was a hand that could appear, but there's not much I could do to prevent it except just play fewer monsters. Don't you dare. Perulia. No. Just no. Non-zero chance that it was a bot, I mean, with the username. But, either way, just no. Okay, this hand is looking kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. Keep checking my extra deck in the hopes that I have a better Synchro 5 than Chanbara. And every time I look, I'm disappointed to see that I do not in fact have any other Synchro 5s. I mean, if I draw a wind, I can summon the world's most expensive Crimson Blader. No extra deck. True Dracos. Okay, I kind of need them to not have drawn a monster. If they haven't drawn a monster, I might be able to push through this. Okay, they've drawn a monster. Which one? Dynamite Knight. I can probably just concede here, surely. I can reach Crimson Blader, but it doesn't do me any good because this gets the trap that halves my attack points. Like special, normal. Yeah, I can make a link. I can link climb. Can I reach access code? Probably not, right? Normal, special, link to, banish, summon, link. Nope. What if I Tempest effect in hand to search? Add one dragon from your deck to your hand. I don't know what dragon I could possibly add here. Nothing that does enough. Well, I guess we do this and we see what he sets. turn. Now, if he has Apocalypse face down, then the game is over anyway. But may as well make him activated. Force him to click just one more yellow glowing button. That's promising. Maybe the face down is not Apocalypse? Well, whatever it is, it's chainable, and I don't like that. Dimensional barrier. Well, a bit late for that. I need them to not draw a monster. The fact that they called Synchro Monster with Dimensional Barrier tells me that this is a real person. Right, because it means they have to at least have scrolled past Ritual Fusion to click on Synchro. So this isn't a bot, it's just... Oh no, please not a face-down copy of Apocalypse. Hand or extra deck, which means that is literally never coming up. Whatever it is chainable. I don't like that it's chainable. Cool, we can concede here. Major Muffin. They chose to go second. I never like that. Let's see if they have Maxi. Like, Fua is fine. Perulia is not great. Maxi is miserable. Am I willing to give them another draw? No, I'm not. Another draw so that I can set up a card that doesn't interrupt? I don't think that's worth. If we can pull like Cyframe Lord Omega, then maybe it becomes worth it. But I don't think it's worth it here. Stardust Spark is not nearly enough of a payoff. How is Legionnaire always in my hand? Sword Soul. Yeah, my hand does nothing into Sword Soul. Especially not after they've already established a board. My opponent's username looks kind of like a bot's username, so maybe? Dimensional Barrier Pass. I have an inkling that this is not going to be a very good matchup for me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't beat this. I mean, maybe Camion does, actually. Unfortunately, though, if I activate a normal trap, I trigger their Sarah for them. Summons as a plant. This is an insect? Yeah. Of course, those are both plants, so they play around ice dragons as well. And then this one will be unaffected by traps. While that is material, it is unaffected by traps. Yeah, I'm not gonna stick around for this. Is there a reason to summon Nahata here? Probably not. Kind of banking on Emissary from the House of Wax. Bonfire. Could be Ryziel, could be... Yep, it's Ryziel. I actually have no idea how I match into Ryziel. Is this correct? They're not supposed to send Detonator, right? There's like better XCs to send. Well, I'm gonna try Torrential here. Try to stop them from getting the rank 4, but presumably they grab another Ryziel and then they're going to just be able to summon both of those. I'm not like super clued in on Ryziel combo, but I have a sneaking suspicion that when you have 2 Ryziels in hand, you're going to be fine. Oh, that previous one wasn't even their normal summon. Cannot exist with the same name as a card you control. You can talk to Ryziels in your graveyard except itself. Place them on the bottom of the deck. Draw 1. Once per turn, when a monster effect activated by your opponent resolves, detach a material from a Ryziel Xyz, and if you do, negate that effect. Okay, there's Detonator. Detach a material from this instead. Okay, so I'm gonna go Blast Held by Destiny. Chain Emissary. Okay. Now we just need to get that lost material out from underneath him. Okay. I don't like that they can just put their XEs back with the field spell though. But there's not much I can do about that. Yeah. They can literally just click yellow buttons. I mean, Guilty is good. Set one pass. Guilty is looking less good. Max C. Okay, I'm fine with that. So we'll activate Summoning Curse. We'll set Ice Dragon's Prison and we'll throw it back. Oh, I should have used the discard effect of this. Actually. Well, that was silly of me. Tachyon. So it is Galaxy Eyes. The good news with Galaxy Eyes is they're all dragons, so maybe Summoning Curse and Ice Dragons is enough? Lubellion. Okay. Okay. Add Magnamut. Sure. Are we gonna Magnamut banish our own Lubellion? Of course not. Cool. Okay, let's just make sure we don't put any lights or darks in grave. Face down is infinite impermanence, most likely. Honestly, I think we go for Drago. Reveal Sloth. And we'll pay 500. Haha. I will take it. Oh right, they stacked a card on top of their deck with Tachyon. Oh no, they would have shuffled off to Magnamut. Oh, but they didn't resolve Magnamut. Oh no, but they stacked a card and then they Lubellion to search the Magnamut. Yeah, so it was a random draw. Well, I'll take it. It's a win. A win is a win. Can only be used for the Synchro Summon of a Dragoonity. Well, it's stun time, I guess. This is what Sloth is in here for. I mean, yeah, that's why Sloth is here. Of course, this will be the game where I play against Amorphages randomly. Zombies. Uh-oh. That's a deck that doesn't really give too much of a shit about the extra. Oh, and they had Raigeki anyway. Send a Vampire Dragon, though. Well, let's see what the rest of the cards they've got do. And I guess the safe play is Spark Dragon. Right, that plays around like some of the mirror forces and things. And I mean, I know they're playing cards like Raigeki as well, so that helps as well. Am I okay with them synchro summoning Vampire Sucker? I think we don't let them do that. Worth remembering that this thing does this, though. Okay. I could have protected it there, but I don't want to risk my Spark Dragon. Well, that's a good card. think we go Torrential, Chain, Spark Dragon. That is lethal damage. That was way too hard fought of a victory for a duel against a bot. We got there in the end, but that took way more effort than it had any right to. GGHH. Could be a bot. Double dimensional barrier going second does not sound like a good opener. But it's the same as Exodia if the opponent immediately concedes. You know, it may as well be Exodia. Okay, the hand is looking fine. Hopefully my opponent goes activate Branded Fusion, chain dimensional barrier, concede. That's what I'd like to see. Predaplants. Yeah, summon a Predaplant from hand, then add a card from deck to hand, and then you're locked into fusions from the extra deck. Okay, so we just sort of wait until the right moment. Okay, Darlingtonia. I think here we Torrential. The fact that they spent some time thinking there tells me that this is a good Torrential. Branded Fusion. think not. Okay, give me something good. That's like an okay card. Doesn't... I suppose it Chanbara's them. Chanbara does mean that their next turn has to do something. Or they'll just think I'm on Sword Soul. Haha! I will take it. I will take it. You know, you flip enough real cards over and they'll just think that you're playing a good deck. Yeah, this was unbeatable. We dunk them twice and then the next turn they just absolutely eat us alive. But they saw two swords. Well, they saw two 10-yees, 10-yees hit the field, and they just immediately assumed I'm playing Sword Soul, and I'll take it. Or maybe they didn't realize that Adhara was a level 1, and they thought that I was going into Ryzeal stuff. You can buy more bookmark slots. Now that's just greedy. I mean, I've wanted more bookmark slots, but like, really? That's kinda gross. I'm not gonna lie, that's kinda gross. Even by Konami standards. Well, let's crack some legacy packs. I'm not sure what's great in here. I mean, there's like all the jars. Morphing Jar, Cyber Jar, etc. It's a Goki. Without the good effect. Giant Kazaki, I don't think I'll be playing Self-TK anytime soon, but, you know, technically it's a 2500 normal summon. Garroth. I'm a long ways off from getting enough Light Swans for that. It's Pot of Greed if I can run over an opponent's Synchro, but that doesn't seem feasible. Did not attack, and during the end phase of your turn, if you did not attack, you can make your opponent send cards equal to the number of face-up Iron Chains you control from the top of their deck to the grave. No. During your opponent's turn, at damage calc, make the battle damage you take from this battle 0. Then you can add a warrior type tuner from your grave to your hand. I mean, it's not terrible. Recycles a tuner monster. Roll a dice. If you roll a 1 or 6, add 1 card from your deck to hand that requires a dice roll. If you roll a number other than this, roll it again and apply the appropriate result. Return this card to the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place this card on top of the deck. If I ever go all in on the Morphtronic Telefon, then this would be like a really bad searcher for it. I do need one more copy of Telefon for that, though. I only have the one. It's kind of Battle Fader if you squint. Cannot be activated from your hand, so you have to set it. It's bad magic cylinder. Okay. All face-up monsters except for effect monsters are unaffected by other spell effects. So all non-effect monsters are unaffected by spells. It's a very weird wording on that. But that's maybe okay if I go normal control. And here's a non-effect monster to go with it, though I don't have Alistair. It's a 1200 that attacks twice, not very good. If you control Donzalug, summon Dark Scorpions from hand. Not even like from deck, just from hand. Okay, this one's not terrible. When you link, you can summon it from your hand, and if you do, place 2 counters on it. If a monster is link, remove 2 of these counters, or all if less than 2. Once per turn during each standby phase, place 1 of these counters on this card. No monster can be link summoned unless this card has at least as many of these counters as that monster's link rating. So what you used to be able to do with this, what I used to do with this back in the day with Salamandrates, you can summon this guy, and then you relink your Sunlight Wolf to drop him down to 0 counter, so that your opponent can't link summon anything more than link 1. So, there's that. In this case, though, it's just like a level 6 that summons if we ever link summon. Right, so there's like uses for this card. Target a face-up card in the spell trap zone, destroy it, then its controller can set a spell trap from their hand. Not the worst card. It's spell trap removal, only for face-ups, but it is spell trap removal. Hip Hippo. Counter burn card. Whole lot of nothing from these packs, I think. Tainted Wisdom, very creepy card art. I love how it takes like so much setup and all it does is shuffle your deck. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, or when this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the grave, special summon an Earth Pendulum from your deck in defense position but destroyed during the end phase. The fact that this isn't a pendulum monster, and the fact that it needs to go to the graveyard, is what holds it back. If this was like a pendulum monster, this might actually be playable. Unite the graveyard cards. Penguin Knight. And Giga Gaga Gigo. It's like an okay dude to tribute summon. If I get Legendary Ocean, it combos quite decently with this. Talking like 2005 combos here. If that recent. A whole lot of meme-worthy cards, but not a whole lot of effects that actually do anything. Which is kind of unfortunate. But I think that'll be it for today. Hopefully next time we pull something crazy. I'm also considering revamping the deck, building maybe a pendulum slop pile, because I do have quite a lot of pendulum cards. Yeah, though I don't have a way to summon Zark. I do have like a handful of guys that would be pretty okay as pendulum monsters. But it's all relative. Like, a lot of these cards I'd be playing them just because they're a pendulum monster, not because they actually do anything. But it could be worth looking into. But I think that's going to be it for today. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.